KwaZulu-Natal government is today launching Transport Month with a focus on improving its road network. As it does this, we're taking a look at what's been done to repair roads damaged in the floods a few months ago. Nqobile Madlala is following the story for us and joins us this morning. Good morning, Nqobile. You know, when it comes to KZN, they've really been dealt a very tough blow insofar as their infrastructure is concerned. The roads were not spared. So as a start, when they launch Transport Month, they're launching it on the back foot with still problems of the old roads. How far are they in repairing those roads damaged in the floods?
Well, according to the MEC, he has told us already that there is some money that has been assigned to ensuring that the infrastructure has been worked on at the moment. But of course, you are right, they are starting on the back foot. And this is something that they are aware of. I mean, the MEC was just highlighting that he is going to be going to some meetings to ensure that there is some communication. We know already that there are areas that are still struggling ever since that time of the floods. But of course, today where we are at the roadblock, we have seen the police basically stopping the heavy vehicles as well as motorists and just ensuring that there is compliance. We spoke to traffic, and traffic was already telling us that they just want to make sure that they are going to be making sure that there's licensing that is properly done, as well as the fitness of the driver. But I want to bring in the mayor in this area to sort of gauge if they are being affected. Mayor, are you affected by the floods, and how's the infrastructure going in terms of updating it?
No, thank you very much. We are happy that the department has chosen this spot to launch the Transport Month. And our message to the drivers out there is that your attitude and your adherence to the traffic rules is very, very important to avoid carnages on the road. We must say that the infrastructure along the N3, because between Mpofana and the Camperdown, we refer to this as our N3 economic development corridor. It's very important for our economy, and we're happy that the national government, through Sanram, is attending to this infrastructure in terms of upgrading N3 and improving the infrastructure here, increasing the number of lanes. And that's why we also want to say to the motorists and drivers, please be cautious as you approach those areas where there are roadworks, so that there are no challenges with regards to accidents. But yes, thank you.
What sort of challenges, Mayor, are you seeing in this economical corridor?
By and large, in the past, and we're happy that there is an intervention also from the provincial and national government. We have had situations in the past where there has been blockages in these roads because local truck drivers were complaining about foreign drivers who are being employed by the truck owners. But through the intervention of provincial and national government, we are seeing less of incidents where this particular road and this particular toll gate in particular gets affected in that particular way. And we really want to implore employers, particularly of truck drivers, to do the right thing. Employ the locals so that we avert those kinds of challenges as well.
And in terms of accidents, Mayor, are you seeing any accidents on this road?
Yes, we have seen quite a number of accidents, but we are also happy that the response time from the law enforcement agencies has been quite okay. And that's why we really appreciate this particular initiative, because we want to say to motorists, please obey the rules of the road. You know, most of the accidents that occur in this particular road, it's not really necessarily because of the infrastructure, it's not necessarily because of inclement weather, it's because of driver behavior. It's overspeeding, it's not observing the rules of the road. And was actually saying, if you do the right thing, if you observe the rules of the road, in fact, all the accidents can be avoided, and want to really implore and say to all the drivers, let's do the right thing.
And Mayor, just as we close off, were you affected by the floods? And maybe if you can give us an idea in terms of the infrastructure, in terms of the road infrastructure, is it in its perfect condition in this area? Is there more that can be done?
Okay. In terms of the national and provincial roads, we're not as affected by the floods. It's mainly your access roads in the local roads which are not tarred and so on, which were mainly affected during the floods. We are working with the Provincial Department of Transport to fix those roads. Most of those roads have been attended, but it's work in progress. But particularly your national and provincial roads were not affected. It's access roads in the rural parts of the districts that were affected, and there is work in progress in terms of fixing those with the Provincial Department of Transport.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Well, Mfundo, those are some of the sentiments coming out of the mayor in the area, but you will remember that particularly a lot of people that were affected were mainly in eThekwini, and where we are today is in the Moy River, which is about 2 hours out from eThekwini municipality. You can imagine that the task that is here is mainly to look at those accidents, but also upgrading the infrastructure, which we understand from the MEC, of course, that these talks are still ongoing, and the mayor just reiterating that those talks are still ongoing. But what is he highlighting is that the economical corridor, he calls it, that it's very important that it's been working and it works accordingly, where the infrastructure needs to be at its best, because this is where we see quite a lot of activity. But of course, those are things that are still ongoing, and we heard from the MEC that it's still going to be a bit of time, but there is money that has been allocated to ensure that does happen.
That's very comforting, because it is a very critical route. But Nqobile, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you very much. That's a reporter, Nqobile Madlala, out in KZN for us. More news on the other side.